Howdy goons, minions, and future servants of the Nimzy Nova Empire, another Switch 2 update, and it's one I'm decently happy about. Nintendo has said that Switch 1 games will receive improvements for them. I assumed this was just going to be improved frame rates across the board, but it's looking like some games will actually get increased functionality. The way it works is you pop in your compatible game, and it'll download a patch. Then when you run the game, you'll get these new enhancements. The rest of this is unscripted, so let's check out Nimzy, who is live reporting from the Nimzy Dome. Hello Nimzy, thank you for having me. Has anyone told you how glorious and beautiful your fur is? Not today, but I do hear it all the time. Also, stop. Flattery will get you everywhere. Right, the enhancements. These enhancements are patches that will essentially upgrade the game. For the most part, Switch 1 games are already expected to run better on the Switch 2 due to increased quality of the hardware, but the games I'm talking about are getting special attention, so let's get started. Alright, so this is the Nintendo page about it. I've also linked it in the description so you can peruse it at your own leisure. Free updates for select Nintendo Switch games. Free updates to enhance the gameplay experience on the Nintendo Switch 2 system will be released for select Nintendo Switch games. By connecting your Switch 2 to the internet and performing a system update, you can download free updates for selected games that may improve graphics or add support for features such as Game Share. We'll go over Game Share in a second. The contents of these free updates will differ depending on the game. The first one is ARMS. I didn't know people were still even playing ARMS. Like, I played it for like the first week of launch, and then I was like, this is just okay. This update will be available June 5th, as will all of these updates, the ones that are listed on the page here. The updates include visuals, frame rate, and HDR support. The visuals update are optimized for Nintendo Switch 2 displays and high-resolution TVs for improved image quality. The frame rate update, optimized for Switch 2 for smoother movement, even when playing with 3 or more players. It's not really news that a lot of Switch 1 games have some chugging moments, but it'll be very nice to play at a higher frame rate, although this one doesn't particularly matter to me because I'm not playing ARMS in 2025. And then HDR support. Some TVs have HDR. Your TV might? I don't know. I only just now got a monitor that supports HDR, but it was only $100 monitor, so I'm guessing most modern TVs have HDR support now. It just makes some stuff look better, except on Windows apparently, where HDR looks terrible. The next one is Big Brain Academy, Brain versus Brain. This one gets Game Share support. Up to 4 people can play in party mode. Share locally or online via game chat. Okay, so this Game Share system thing, it's their way of like doing it's not like your family sharing thing on like Steam or something like that, where everyone in your family gets access to the game. It's more like, you might remember DS Download Play, where you could pop in a cartridge and then your friend could click DS Download Play and they'd get a demo, or they'd be able to be your player 2 in the main game while you play. It's kind of like that. While Game Share is open, you can share the game with your friend, and your friend can play it for as long as the Game Share tab is open. So think of it more as like an extended free trial, which is good. People should be able to demo the games and stuff like that, and I can see some people playing through the entire game like this. Hopefully the connection is good on Game Share. I'm assuming it works something like Steam's Remote Play, which was spotty at first but got to be pretty good later on, and now we use it pretty frequently. Up to 4 people can play in party mode. So they're increasing the amount of players that can play Big Brain Academy. So this is really cool. Like I said before, I thought this is just going to be frame rate increases and graphic increases like across the board. But no, some of these special games are actually getting something that is, you know, a functionality update. Big Brain Academy is being made better by this update. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Updates included visuals, HDR support, and with Game Share, 2 people can play all of the courses, which is good. I never played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I think I own it on the Wii U, but I never played it. Share locally or share online via game chat. You're going to notice a lot of these say that, along with the visuals and HDR support. The next one, Clubhouse Games, 51 worldwide classics. Those of you who are really big on checkers and chess, I guess, good news. Up to 4 people can play 34 of the 51 games, for, I assume, the games that actually support 4-player. And again, it can be shared via game chat, making it easier for you to play with multiple people online, which means only one of you effectively has to buy the copy, and you can basically stream the game to your friends and play it with them. So that's cool. Game Builder Garage. Its updates are, of course, another visual update. Most of these are visual updates, and it now supports Joy-Con 2 mouse controls, which is great because Game Builder Garage is basically a visual coding recording app, so being able to use the mouse mode will make development in Game Builder Garage much faster. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Visual update, that's it. And now the one I'm excited for, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet updates. Visuals, just increased graphics. The game looked fine, it looked good enough, but the real bonus here, the real amazing thing, frame rate boost, improved for smoother movement on the Nintendo Switch 2. Thank Mario. God be in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thank you so much, Mario, for improving the frame rate on Pokemon Scarlet. You're a little late. I would have appreciated this update a couple years ago. I would have preferred for it to come out at 60 FPS, but better late than never. I will actually probably play my Pokemon Scarlet all the way through. I played Shield all the way through. I caught every Pokemon. I did shiny hunting and stuff like that. I played it as much as I possibly could. Scarlet, I did not do the same thing because the game chugs. It runs really poorly. So I will finally finish my Pokemon Scarlet game. Who knows? Maybe I'll actually buy the DLC now since the game will actually run at a decent rate. Violet is, of course, the same updates. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Updates include visual improvements, frame rate, HDR support. Up to 4 people can play Super Mario 3D World over Game Share, and Bowser's Fury, 2 people can play together with one player controlling Mario and the other controlling Bowser Jr., and of course it can be shared locally or online via game chat. Super Mario Odyssey, visual update, HDR support. I remember Mario Odyssey not needing really anything in the terms of frame rate. I remember it playing pretty decently. Game Share support, 2 people can play together with one player controlling Mario and one controlling Cappy. If I remember correctly, this was already a thing, but only locally. Now with Game Share support, you can do it over the internet too. And of course, shared locally or online via game chat. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I haven't played this one yet, but it is getting a visuals update and HDR support. I know people love this one, so I'll have to check this out. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, visual updates, and HDR support. Another one that I haven't played. I'm not really huge on Zelda, but I also noticed that Breath of the Wild isn't on here, and Tears of the Kingdom isn't on here. And we know why that is, because at launch, they're selling a Switch 2 enhanced version of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So honestly, I'm kind of annoyed about that. Tears of the Kingdom came out in a really sloppy, hard to play state, so I really think they owe us the frame rate increase for free. I really don't think they should be charging us for a Switch 2 enhanced version. They kind of owe us with how bad Totka came out, but that's my only gripe about this. But as you notice, these have update available listings, so I think this is going to be a continual thing that rolls out in the future. I think we're going to be seeing more games updated in this way. Maybe Totka will get that frame rate improvement later down the line. Either way, I'm not going to pay for the game a second time, so I'm just going to deal with whatever they give me on the Switch 2 updated version. But yeah, that's kind of it. It seems like very minor updates, but I think the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet ones are going to be huge. I think any of the frame rate ones are going to be huge. Honestly, the Game Builder Garage mouse control support is great. I think a lot of people will get use out of that for people who play Game Builder Garage. I know some people really enjoyed that, and honestly, I wish I had access to coding games when I was a kid. Maybe I'd actually make a game, but it's cool that kids have it even if I didn't have it. And it's very cool that these Clubhouse Classics games, like I might not personally play these classic games, but it's cool that people can play these classic games with people online, because like you can see that there's quite a few games in here that are better with more people. Like of course chess is better with more people, but they got stuff like Mancala, Hanafuda. It looks like those are Hanafuda cards, I believe. Miniature bowling. Anyway, ARMS getting a frame rate update is very much needed. I remember it chugging pretty badly when I first played, so again, better late than never. That's it for the enhanced games. It's not many, but I'm expecting much more to come in the future. Back to you, HD Nimzy. Thanks so much for that info, Gremlin Nimzy. I'm personally very excited for the Pokemon update. That game runs like garbage. You said it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Are you excited for any of these updates? Let me know below. Bye. Bye 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 bye.